So what's up, everybody? This is Ruben Garcia, and this is a beautiful day. And today on the Proven by Ruben podcast, we have Jonathan Rivera with the Rivera Realty Group. What's up, brother?
What's up, man? How are you?
I'm doing amazing, man. So if you could, tell everyone who you are, what you do, how you do it, and all that good jazz.
Yeah, my name is Jonathan Rivera. I'm originally from Chicago, Illinois. Been in North Carolina for about 11 years. Do most of my real estate brokerage out of Robeson County, Lumberton, Red Springs, St. Paul's area. I am a real estate broker. I've been a real estate broker since August 3rd of 2015. Love what I do. Super excited about that. But I also like to, say I'm somewhat of an entrepreneur. Started a new business this year, as well as real estate. So, that's something we're dabbling in, and we'll see how that goes. Really excited about the opportunity, and maybe we'll discuss that a little bit later.
Yes, absolutely, man. Dude, there's a lot there, and there's a lot I want to dip into.
Yeah, sure.
But to give some context, Jonathan and I ran some numbers before this, and just for the listeners, this guy is up year over year 443% in his business. Right now, he's closed about 40 units year to date, and he's got about 20 pending right now. And we just started September 4th, 2018.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah, it's been a heck of a year. It's been a really good summer. One thing I want to take away from that is, you and I talked around this time last year, and it was more about being prepared for when you do explode. Because I had just started, I think it was March of 2016 or 17. So I'm only a year and a half into Keller Williams. And I left, I started brand new, nothing on my plate. Yeah. And I was struggling. And, you say, hey, you be ready whenever that happens. And I didn't necessarily take your advice. And so now I'm 20 under, but I've got an amazing assistant. I think the lesson learned is that, you never know when that business is going to just catapult, and to be prepared for that. And so definitely taking that away for this summer. Yeah.
So what would you say to the people? So when you say be prepared, what does that look like?
Well, it's having the right people in place. It's always, you talked about choosing talent, and I credit you a lot for where I am today.
Stop.
Honestly. No, but realistically, I think the thing is being prepared for the amount of workload, planning for what could happen. And I didn't expect all of this, I didn't expect to be doing this well this summer. And so I think putting the assistant in place, having another one ready, and then building the team, I think that's going to be something for the future that's going to help alleviate a lot of the pressures that I'm feeling right now. But good stuff. Great summer, as I said. I think the biggest thing is knowing where you are and know where you want to go.
Right.
So
that'd be definitely something that we're going to get into. What I'd like to do is back up just a little bit. You said you were in Chicago for 11 years, or you've been in Carolina for 11 years?
I've been in North Carolina for 11 years.
Gotcha. So what brought you here from Chicago?
Yeah, so funny story. I was I played baseball here at the university. At the time, I was with my
Which one? Which university?
University of North Carolina, Pembroke.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, so I played baseball at UNC-P, the Braves. Go Braves. Yeah, definitely. And I was in a position where my parents at 18, like, look, you're financially independent. We can't help you anymore. Really figure out what you want to do and where you need to be in the next few years. So I took a full ride scholarship. I never visited the university. I said, you know what? I can't play baseball in the winter in Chicago with the snowflakes that looked like the same color as the baseball. So
True.
So I took the opportunity, and I moved to Robeson County, North Carolina. So very different. But I've been here ever since. Loved it. And very happy. This is definitely my second home.
Gotcha. Okay, and just curious, did you major in anything?
Yeah, so I majored in exercise sports science.
Oh, gotcha. Man, that was going to be your jam, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was really the plan. Once I finished school at UNC-P, I started a childhood obesity prevention program. And that was kind of what made me stay. I saw the opportunity. I realized, look, we're in a impoverished community that really lacked in physical health and education. Yeah. And I used that as an opportunity. So we started that program July of 2012, and 2011. I'm sorry.
Wow.
Did that for 6 years, pilot program, and it just took off. We sold it back to the
wow.
clinic. Yeah, it's 13 kids we started with, and we ended up servicing over 3,900.
Wow. All right, so you're in college, you're playing baseball.
Yeah.
or how did that happen, that first interaction with real estate?
Yeah, so it's funny. It was something I always wanted to do, right? I mean, and I say that because I grew up in Oak Park, Illinois, and Frank Lloyd Wright is a world-renowned, very famous architect who built several homes in my hometown.
Gotcha.
So for Christmas, during the holidays, my family would take these tours, and I really like. I guess I would say I really like architecture and design. Is how it started. Yeah. So these incredible houses that will be modern for the next 200, 300 years. Right. Just incredible architect, and I was like, wow, I want to be, in this. I like this design, or, I guess I was never really great at math, so real estate kind of was next. Yep. Right. So, I didn't have to do all the CAD designs in real estate. So once I was able to supplement my income, which was 3 years ago, I said, look, real estate is a career. You need to have something coming in. Right. I mean, I at that point was was making good money with the clinic, and I took a pay cut, and I said, you know what? If I don't do this now, I'll never have the opportunity. And I chose not to have any regrets, and thank God I pushed myself off the edge and landed on 2 feet.
Yeah. So how fast were you to move forward with real estate? Because and correct me if I'm wrong, was there like a struggle of like, man, should I jump in 100%? It's going to be commission based. And because I feel like a lot of listeners, viewers, they're in that same world, right? It may not be real estate, but it may be something that they're like, man, should I don't know if I should do this. Something's telling me I should, and I don't know if I should. For you, what was that defining factor? Like, no, I'm doing this.
Yeah, it was going back to, it was a life of no regrets. Right. Yeah. So I didn't want to say, look, I'm 45 years old, because I was running around with kids at the time. And, I didn't see a long extended future, running around and doing this program well into my elderly age. At 45 and 50, I would slow down. Right. And so I saw this as, if I don't do this now, I won't have the opportunity to develop my network or my sphere of influence that's going to help catapult my real estate career. So I was making all these business contacts, meeting all these people from hospitals and different places, but was only able to utilize them in that small capacity of health and fitness when I felt like I could do so much more with these people that I'm meeting. And I felt like, look, it's now or never, John. And so I finally, woke up to reality and made it happen.
How did you feel when you internally made that decision?
Oh, well, I felt amazing. Yeah. It took me a little while, to get on my feet. I sold my first house within the first 30 days, and then I actually left my other career within the first 90. So I went from like selling one house, and then I just went bang, bang, bang. So once I started my second month, things just kind of took off. Right. And very fortunate that happened. I did take a pay cut, but I saw the light at the end of the tunnel. Yeah. I said, you know what? If I don't sacrifice and give 100% now and really leave this career, then I'm never going to be able to fulfill my highest potential. Right. And I didn't want to lose that opportunity. I saw a niche as well, because I'm the only Spanish-speaking broker in the county. Right. And so I'm helping all these people. If I can start focusing on this group, maybe I can, go to the next level in something. And so that happened.
No doubt. There's a lot of power being first too. Sure. And with you, if being that first person to take a hold of that market, there's a lot of trust that you're going to gain from the very, being that first person too. Sure.
Absolutely. And I think we've done that. We've done a good job of keeping those relationships, and this is a word of mouth business. Mm-hmm. And, servicing that demographic has helped me a bunch. And so I continue to help cousins and families. Right. And so it's amazing. So I'm very fortunate and happy to be able to do that. But, yeah.
So now we're in the game, and you're crushing it, right? And you're doing a really great job. If you could kind of back to that first year in real estate, what were some of the biggest struggles that you had? How much did you sell your first year? How many?
My first year units sold was 48.
48.
I sold 48 units in my first year.
Okay. And we're 3 years in right now.
3 years in right now.
First year sold almost 50 homes. What did you find was being some of the biggest struggles that you had? And I mean, and also being the first year agent, like we're still learning our first year.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Well, we're still learning every year.
Every year, for sure. No doubt.
Right. I guess the biggest struggles was, for me, It's funny. You put me on the spot. The biggest struggles I had were trying to, adapt to the lifestyle environment that I was in my office. Right. I mean, I think, it was. It was a challenge. It was definitely a challenge.
Okay.
My biggest struggle, Ruben, was to say no to certain properties and I don't think that was a bad thing.
Right. Yeah. Because so. Two things is what I heard, right? And correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, please.
Your environment must support your goals.
Yes.
And if your environment isn't supporting your goals, I mean, who knows how far you're going to go. If you decide you want to stay in that environment, then you might as well cap yourself, right?
Sure.
And you got to look at yourself and say, okay, now I'm responsible of where I'm at right now. I can no longer blame my environment because you chose to be there.
Right.
So your environment has to support your goals, and it sounds like you just needed to change an environment.
Yeah, and I think that was the hardest thing to that first year, because I did make the change within my first year.
Right.
Towards the latter part of the year. And
right.
I wanted that to not be a reason why I couldn't grow. I felt like I saw a ceiling, and I wanted to burst through that ceiling, because I asked, like, what do we do next? What's next?
Right.
And there was no growth. There was no plan for what was next. And I felt like, there's got to be something. There's got to be something. Yeah. And so, I think that was a huge struggle. Yeah,
no doubt. So what did you find? When you broke through the ceiling, you made a change. What did you find?
Oh, there was endless opportunities. I mean, I looked around. I saw real estate from a different view. I looked around and I looked at everything as real estate. Where before I was just like, I need to make this number. I need to hit this. And then it was like, I changed my perspective, and that's like a door opened, the book unfolded, and it was like, go for it. And so that was a big thing for me. I was limiting myself before then. I was comfortable where I was.
Yeah.
And, and comfort will kill you. So I started reading personal development books. I started listening to different podcasts, and I was like, these guys are hitting it on the money. These guys are right on. And so I'm real proud of you for what you're doing.
Thank you.
This is awesome. But I feel like there was something more. I was also at the age where I didn't develop until later on, right? Like, I was older, but I was, I always wanted to play baseball. I was always an athlete, and I didn't necessarily know what I wanted to do for my career.
Right.
So I bloomed later on.
Right.
Once I realized who I was and who I wanted to be, it was like, okay, what are you waiting for? Go for it.
Yeah.
So
there's even a few things that I'm looking at where I'm like, where it's a little uncomfortable to move forward. Mm-hmm. So what do you tell that person that is feeling pretty feeling pretty comfortable where they're at? Even, they might be doing pretty well, but they're comfortable.
Right.
And they want to succeed to a different level. What do you tell that person?
Well, I mean, you've got to break out of that comfort zone. I mean, you've got to find the one thing that you're passionate about, and if you felt like you found that, where does that take you? What's the next level of that? Because there's always another level, right? But I mean, you want to be you want to reach that goal, but you don't want to I guess what I want to say, Ruben, is a person who's stuck there, find your spirit, find people around you that are going to make you better. Right? I think that was the thing that changed for me. All my best friends that I associate with daily all are way more successful than me, are invested in real estate, or doctors or attorneys or physicians that do really well.
Right.
And so if you surround yourselves with people, your sphere of influence, who aren't comfortable, that just forces you out of that comfort zone. So I think that's very important. Surrounding yourself with like-minded individuals who want to break through that ceiling. Yeah.
And so there's kind of I want to say an activity that you can kind of do. So once you do move into that core group of people, and you find yourself getting so uncomfortable, and you'll honestly, and tell me if this happened to you, you'll find that you don't talk as much either. You just listen. And you're just soaking it all in.
Listen.
And you're like, holy moly.
Mm-hmm.
And then what happens is you go back to that older group of people that you were hanging out with, and you start to, what you learned there, you throw at them and
see what works.
See what works and see what happens. And then and some knock it down, right?
Yes.
And they're like, can never happen. Or what? That sounds silly. And then eventually you start looking at who you need to essentially cut from your life. Yeah. And so your core group will constantly keep growing you, and you're not having anchors on you trying to always pull you down.
If you're the smartest person in your group, you need to find a new group.
Yep. Some people love that though.
You know,
I'm sure they sit down.
That.
They're just like, I'm the best and the smartest in this group.
Right. Well, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
You know, that to each their own. But if you want to continue to grow, you've got to get out of that. You know, you've got to find yourself in something different that's going to constantly challenge you. And so that's what I had to learn. I do that every day.
Yeah.
We meet, my group, meet with 3 guys every Thursday at 7:00. We bring a new idea to the table. And
is that like a standard you have to bring?
Well, yeah, we bring your idea, or we worked on an idea from last week. How are we gonna, monetize it? How is it gonna work?
Oh, gotcha.
What's your next step? You know, so that's always interesting to see. I brought an idea last week, got shot down right away. You don't need to do that in your business. And I said, okay. You know, and it was something that I wanted to use to build more, to have more word of mouth in my industry.
Right.
But I realized it could dilute the
brand.
The brand. Absolutely.
Okay. So I want to go deeper into that.
Okay.
And I don't know if we're allowed to go deeper into that.
We can. It was kind of, you know, I think they do it in other states. So what I wanted to do, the idea.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll just tell you. I know. I was like, maybe not. No, the one idea I had was offering commission discounts, or, you know, offering, and that discount would be for servicemen, whether it be firemen, police officers, teachers.
Right.
And then that percentage would either go back to that person as a certificate, as a gift.
Right.
Or they can donate it to a charity of their choice.
Gotcha.
So it was a way of, look, he helps, firefighters or firemen. And so I wanted to play more of a role in the community by giving back to those who serve our county, our city.
Yeah. So there's a program called Homes for Heroes.
Okay.
And that's essentially what they do. And as a matter of fact, we have a team here running that play right now.
Okay.
What?
Interesting.
Yeah. What about it did they say would dilute it?
It would just, what he said was you don't need that for your brand right now. And you're building a good enough good enough brand, whereas go backwards if you're already going forward.
Right.
And and for me, I looked at it more of an opportunity to service.
Sure.
And then, it would be a conversation for people to have amongst themselves. It helped each other. I know, for example, I'm working with a police officer right now who tells another police officer, "Hey, this guy's helping us." You know what I mean? And so I thought that would be something that would be, unique to our market.
Right.
At least in the Robeson County market. Because we do have a lot of servicemen and women in our area, and I think everyone, they need to be recognized in one way or the other.
No doubt. So we're actually, an agent I'm coaching. We're running a similar play. Maybe this would be something that you could bring in, or at least bring it as an idea to your people, and see what they say. Is more of finding let's just use fire or policeman right now, and finding some fund that they support. Okay. Or maybe they have an annual, no pun intended, pig picking, right? Or something, right? Like, no, I know that was terrible. But maybe the money is raised for something or something. Sure. But for each person that you help out, either buy or sell their home, right? A percentage or a flat amount from your commission goes towards
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah. And you have like this thermostat thing that you're keeping them updated, right? And they feel like they're given into this one program that police officers have. And the cool thing is, for everyone that year in that 12-month period that is bought or sold with you, they all go into another drawing. That's even a bigger event.
Drawing.
Yep. Or like, for example, the one that we're going to run is Dancing with the Stars. So they get 2 tickets. The winner, 2 tickets to Dancing with the Stars. And what does Dancing with the Stars do? It funds Seed, which funds entrepreneurs. I
know Dancing with the Stars as well.
Oh, of course you do. But yeah, so maybe not, as structured where it's all heroes.
Sure.
Maybe it's one thing that you see in your...
That could work.
Yep. And then the buyers and sellers, you pull them out of basically a hat. And of course, you're taking selfies. You're telling the story.
Sure, you're telling the story. And I think that's key.
Yep. And you're amazing at that.
Thank you. Yeah. Social media has helped me a tremendous amount.
Yeah.
With my business.
Yeah. So I hear a lot of people say, nah, social media, I'm never going to get on social media. It's ridiculous. What would you say to those people?
I'd say they're insane.
Why?
Oh my God. I mean, how can you not take advantage of a free platform that opens the doors to thousands and thousands of people that look at you every single day? You show the house to one person, or you can show it to 2,000.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah.
And so I do a lot of live videos for that same purpose. I'm doing the walkthrough because if I can't be with you right then and there, I'm going to be with you in your kitchen when you're available with your family at 7 o'clock at night. I think social media has completely changed my business. Actually, I started with it, so I wouldn't say it changed it. I'd say it's what helped me get to where I'm at today. I think it's funny, this is, some people think I'm crazy, but in the Robeson County market, there's not a lot of cold calling. It just isn't. You don't have a lot of those cold called leads.
Yeah.
All of my leads come from Facebook. So those
no way. It doesn't work. There's no way.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's incredible. I think, and it might be because there aren't that many people doing it where I live. And so being the first one to do something like that, like you said before, really changes the game. And it's been incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been incredible. So I'm very happy, very thankful for that. Thank you, Mark Zuckerberg.
Yeah.
and other social media platforms. Yeah. I always tell people, look, if your social media presence is not up to par, they're just going to skip right through. It's like having great pictures on Zillow.
Yeah.
If you don't have professional photos, I'm not going to look at the fourth. I don't even get to the master bedroom.
Yeah. Right? How about the agents who ride by and take a picture? You can still see the windowsill of their car.
It's unreal. Yeah, I've seen that more times than I ever thought I would.
Oh my gosh, it's crazy.
Or the $500,000-$600,000 houses with cell phone shots. It's like,
yeah, but they got the listing.
Love your craft.
They got the listing. Yeah, and that's what I'm telling agents. Like, they're freaked out because they're 1 million, 2 million. They're like, nah, they're not gonna I'm just not up to par yet. And it's like, just go check. Go check what other agents are doing.
You have to. I study other agents.
Yeah.
You know, it's crazy because I look at what everyone's doing in my market.
Yeah.
And it's, I want to see what they're doing, and I want to make sure I try to do it a little bit better so that when I go to meet with the families, but.
Yeah, and you're doing a little bit better.
Thank you.
Let's say this. So the social media thing, is there a strategy like every Tuesday I go into an open house, Tuesdays and Thursdays, or is it more off the cuff, just telling the story? What does that look like?
So I like telling the story. It's more off the cuff. It's not so structured. What I do try to make sure is that I'm doing it at peak time periods. Okay. Right? So my peak periods are first thing people do when they get up to look at their Facebook, right? Mm-hmm. So a post, you might have it at 7:30, 8 o'clock in the morning before everyone gets to work. They're glancing through their phone, of course, right at lunch or after lunch. So around between 12 and 2 o'clock.
Gotcha.
And then right after work, right before the rush hour at 4, from 4 to 8.
Gotcha.
And then if I want to do a late night post, is right at 10 before they go to bed. So I try to make sure that it's in those time periods when you're getting the most people looking in at the most opportune hour.
Gotcha.
So that's key.
Do you see that run across all social media platforms you're on, or just mostly Facebook, or do you run that play?
I run that play on Instagram,
Snapchat.
I'm really, unfortunately, I'm not so much on Snapchat anymore. Instagram is kind of taking over that.
Yep, 100%.
So Instagram is just way more, a lot more access to other people, websites, photos.
Yeah.
Much more reach with Instagram. And that's something I'm developing more, but it's really started with Facebook.
Yeah.
So Facebook, Instagram are my main. I keep that play running with those two platforms. I try to keep out. Also, in my business, I do, as soon as I get the listing agreement signed, I do a coming soon photo with a picture. So I start my campaign, which is my coming soon campaign,
right?
Which lets people know, hey, this house is coming up. I give you a brief description, and so anyone who's looking in that for that.
Right.
Profile, it fits, and they say, hey, I want to see that house, and now they're interested, they're eager, they're waiting. Then I do a couple photos. I'll do like 3 or 4 to give them a teaser, and then they're like, well, when is it gonna hit? And so by the time it hits,
There's so much demand.
I've got 5 or 6, 7 people lined up ready to see the property. And recently, in the last few I've listed, have all gone under contract. within 30 days. So the last 7 have all gone under, 6 of them have gone under contract within 3 weeks.
Wow.
So I think that has a lot to do with the direction. I'm now making them more exclusive. So what we're doing is a lot of flips here lately. Right. I'm working with Investor Four Corners Properties and Development. And our goal is to have a waiting list of particular houses so they know that when this next house is done by this company, they understand the quality. They know that it's going to be a great house. And if it's an area that they like, that they already know that, hey, call us, jump on it, and let's make it happen.
Yep.
So that helps a lot.
I love that that's their vision, because that's what the successful flippers have.
Yeah.
You know, people know their product. They know it's really good. They know on the home inspection that everything's going to be taken care of. Like it's going to be an easy thing.
Yep.
And you're right. When they know that they purchased a property and they're about to flip it, it can look like an elephant took a dump on it.
Yep.
They don't even
those
care.
Are the best.
Yeah. They don't even, like the buyer is like, dude, what they're going to do to this home, and is it listed at market value or under market value?
When I list them?
Yeah.
They're listed at market value.
Yeah. So,
and they're aggressive. The thing is, I don't inflate, you know, I don't put $10,000-$15,000 and hope for a low ball offer and then,
hope.
No.
Yeah.
No. We're aggressive.
Yeah.
You know, because I set a realistic expectation with my sellers. And if you don't do that, then you're giving them false hope.
Yep.
Your house sits on the market 4 or 5 months and you're wondering, what's your broker doing?
Yep.
You know, so we really want to separate ourselves from that question.
Yeah. Good. Awesome. I love it.
Yeah.
It's cool because the market's kind of, it's pushing up too. There's a lot of pressure where the sales prices are going up too. We're seeing more multiple offers than we've ever seen. And so on and so forth.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna go back to the Instagram thing. So
sure.
You said you get more reach on Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything specific besides doing a picture or a video? Is there anything other than that, a tip or a trick that you could give?
I add everything to my story, right?
Okay,
so your
Facebook,
Instagram story, I do a walkthrough in a house, and I'll put like words on it, or 3 bedrooms, 2 baths with a picture, or and I'll show the home, and I'll give a couple of pictures on it, or I'll say add my hashtag, or I'll add hashtags of other designs, or I'm sorry, like homes, or house, or other places that, so other people, like Lowe's.com, like for example, if we're doing a flip and Lowe's has some furniture from Lowe's, I'll tag the furniture. That way anyone who's looking on Lowe's page now touches the photo, my photo shows up on their webpage. So doing a lot of that lately. I'm new to this. My wife is the one who really got me into Instagram. It's more of that generation, right? Yeah. So paid attention to that right away, saw the difference, and she showed me. She's like, "This is what you could be doing. This is what you're doing." And so, and it's a younger, livelier platform.
Yeah.
And I'd say younger because now influencer is the biggest. It's huge.
Yeah.
And it happened like within like 3 or 4, and it's like, what? How did I miss all of that?
Yeah.
And now I want to be a part of that.
Yeah.
Right. And so it's something huge where you can now you don't have to be a celebrity to have a huge following.
That's right.
Right. So now you're influencing people and you're telling them, speaking them on life and whatever their missions are. It's just a great platform for that.
Yeah.
So it helps a lot of people.
Yeah, I agree. Do you see any other are you looking at a next platform? Do you see anything coming on the horizon that you're like, maybe I could use that in my business?
Not yet. I think Instagram is so new for me still that I've got to get a good grasp on that.
Yeah.
I think I have a good handle of Facebook. The next thing is going to be integrating the two. I love that they're together. Mm-hmm. It makes everything easier. You share one thing on Instagram, you share it to Facebook.
Yeah.
So if there was something that fell in line that made it more simple, I think the next thing is going to have to be hiring a strategic marketing person who handles that stuff for me when we go to the next level. Because that next level, I see it big and bright. I mean, we're trying to do property development, little neighborhoods, and so to do that, you have to step up to the plate at the next level.
Yeah.
So, there's a lot of layers, but I think whoever does the next big one, Vine kind of came and went. Mm-hmm. Snapchat kind of came and went for a little while.
As soon as it went public too, and I was like, oh, those investors are hurting.
Yeah, hurting bad.
Whew.
Yeah. So
did you invest?
I did not.
Okay.
I did not. I thought about it. I told some buddies of mine. I was like, maybe,
yeah.
But But Instagram and Facebook are one of those that I don't see them going away for any time soon.
Yeah. What do you think could make Instagram or Facebook better? Do you see something that maybe a platform out there listening to this could be like, oh, then we'll do that. What do you think it's missing?
Yeah, well, I think the big thing that they've changed on Instagram is you can do videos for longer, right? Before it was only like 10-second videos. 15. Now it's like you can watch
on stories,
but now you can do like live videos.
Yeah,
like Gary Vee does a really long, live videos that are 30 minutes long. So that was like a big breakthrough for Instagram. I think maybe being able to connect in like a chat room like setting, like if if there's 5 people you wanted to meet with and you wanted to add an influencer, you would send like a request where all 5 of you can be on a. There's probably something like that already.
No, keep going.
Well, I'm thinking, I know. It's like if we were in a conversation and we're talking about this idea, and we hashtagged the idea, and someone was available to jump in on the conversation, another person throw their 2 cents in and have an open forum. There's other avenues I'm sure that do that.
Yeah. So it's like an online mastermind. Through social media. Gotcha.
I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think there's
there are other plays for that.
No, I think there's an opportunity there because people are doing that right now through Facebook groups. But here's the thing: how many Facebook groups have you been?
Do you try to delete?
Yeah,
because you have notifications every day.
Yeah,
you don't even read them.
You don't want to do it. So maybe the opportunity is in cutting the noise down to a true valuable conversation, because I'm in Entrepreneur Mastermind 2.0 like 1,000 times. But who can find that gap where there's not as much noise, where we can cut down on the friction and we can truly have a conversation that's going to help us build our business? But how does that look?
Sure.
And how do you keep out the spammers and the people who just are looking, and not really executing? Like, maybe I bet there is space there. I just don't know what that looks like.
Right.
Somebody needs to capitalize on that
a little bit more. There's always a different vision. There's always another way. There's always something else out there.
Yeah.
But if I sat and thought about it long enough, I'm sure I would come up with something.
Yeah. I started playing with Vero, Vero.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's that about?
It's just another social media platform. It's not. Look, maybe.
Hey, it could hit.
Maybe, right? And all I know is I'm posting on there, so I'm taking up space.
Are you getting a lot of attention? It's very new still.
Not much, right? Yeah,
sure.
it's still kind of. Matter of fact, it's called Vero Beta, so it's not even. They haven't even taken down beta
I think
yet.
this is an this is something that's next level.
True.
All this the podcasts and the lot. I mean, there's got to be something else that's gonna support them even more.
Right.
How to have a larger audience base quicker.
Right.
There's got to be a way to do that. Plugging in maybe I'm behind the times. It's probably already out.
Yeah. Are you guys messing with your investor? Are you looking at maybe smart homes in the future? Meaning you walk in and be like, lights on, right? or
that'd be
like
cool. There, obviously, the role of an investor is to make money, right? The goal. That's his goal.
That's true.
So if it makes sense in the numbers, then of course that would be a nice play. I think obviously the more advanced we get in technology, the more those type of homes are wanted.
Yeah.
There's more of a market for those. But does the number make sense? Is the return on your investment going to be there? And so that's the question.
Yeah.
We just started at, it's just nothing new, but we started adding like Ring doorbells, little stuff.
Yeah.
That, that makes a difference to some people. USB outlets. It's little changes like that eventually,
you're kind of leading to it. It's kind of
it's
rings.
A slow process. Yeah.
Yeah.
The rings are neat.
Yeah. Because someone comes to your door, your house is telling you someone's there, and alerting you. Do you put a camera inside the house too, or just the ring?
Just the ring.
Yeah. See, I mean, that is like the intro.
Yeah.
So it'd be interesting if you guys.
People love to travel. People who are not home.
Yep.
Babysit. Who's at your door. Those are all important.
Yeah.
And
if you guys decide to do a pretty good level smart home, can you document it from like the very beginning? Be the first to take the storytelling from a smart home? Because you mentioned like the podcast. This is kind of why I first started it, was because I know we're going to move to smart homes, and I want someone to walk into their home and be like, so I'm supposed to, yeah, we're supposed to meet this one agent, Jonathan Rivera. Alexa, let's just say, Alexa, tell me more about Jonathan Rivera. And what's going to happen is these audio platforms are going to come first, right?
Okay.
Because you can't visualize this. This is going to be speakers in your house, and it's going to say podcast, Proven by Ruben podcast with Jonathan Rivera. Would you like to hear it?
Wow.
So it's going to tell your story, right? And
yeah.
what's going to be super odd is when they hear me say this in their smartphone
They're
down
like,
the road.
what?
Yeah,
mind blown.
Yeah, but that's the introduction to the audio, because I think we're going there, in our homes.
Yeah, which I think we're going in a lot of directions with technology in homes. I'm excited to see the advancements, and we continue to make strong steps. Kind of on the subject, but not.
Yeah.
Is something I want to talk to you about since I'm here with you.
Yeah.
What do you think how do you think that's going to look for as an agent? When we're supposed to be fearing these bigger platforms like Zillow and Realtor, and my fear is, are they gonna need us?
So there's a big depends. Some people won't.
Right.
They'd much rather use
sight unseen.
Yeah, they'd be fine with it. I think this is always a relationship business.
Yeah.
I will say, that's why you see Gary Keller and Brad Inman getting into it on TV, because Gary Keller's like fighting for the industry, because you see that agents are buying leads left and right. And the thing is these agents were never taught, I guess, to build a database that feeds
their business,
their, like, it communicates to you and hands you leads.
Yeah.
Like, you want to buy leads, buy a phone book, right? It's a lot cheaper, and the conversion rate is going to be just as low.
Or step outside of your little cubicle and go meet people.
Yeah, right, exactly. But here's the thing: there's agents selling it out left and right.
Yeah, that's true.
Zillow just bought Dotloop. I mean, not just, they bought Dotloop, right? And so
Zillow bought Dotloop. Yeah.
Yep. KW is the only one who signed an agreement with Zillow where they can't get any of our information. It's a data war, is what it is,
of
right?
Course, yeah.
And so that's why you're seeing all
everything.
That's why you're seeing all these tech companies. But that's why you also see KW is just doing its dangest to protect
agents,
the agent, and the data. So the data's not sold,
right?
Because
if they have the data, that's all they need,
right?
Then those estimates are a lot more accurate.
Yeah, that's right. But I mean, it'd be dumb to think that that's not a threat, and that's why you see like Kelly, the artificial intelligence that we have and stuff like that, where the end consumer is going to have a lot more into what's going on, and so is the agent. The agent's going to be more. It's going to be more powerful than ever. They're going to be tech-enabled agents instead of agents who need the tech to live.
Sure. Yeah.
I hope that answered your question.
It did. Thank you.
I think I guess where I'm going. I think it's a good thing that KW is number one in agent count, because with almost 200,000 agents on board to help protect the industry, I think we're in a good place.
Yeah.
I think we're in a good place.
I agree.
What else? Do you have another one for me?
No. That was just something we went from Smart House, and I was like, well, how is that? How could the future be for the real estate brokers? So
yeah.
That was just something I
think
I'd touch your brain on.
Yeah, and I think this more than ever, you need to be for the agents who are listening, you need to be in your community, like heavy.
Yeah.
Like you can't just be a Pop-Tart agent who just jumps up whenever.
Right.
You have to yesterday, 2 years ago, you should have been getting deep into your community, reaching out to all the business owners, really getting involved with community events, because this is why branding is so important.
Branding's everything.
Yes, so now the people are going to be more involved with your brand, and they know the good that you're doing. They want to be involved with that.
Sure.
It's not about the money that they're going to pay your broker to sell your home. It's what good the money's going to do when they do pay you. Absolutely. And so you should be building roots.
Mm-hmm. And I think that idea that I talked to you about before, the servicing, I think that is so important for, just people out there knowing that you want to help.
Yeah.
and that's huge.
And to go deeper into that is video the whole thing, document the whole thing, like show the family that it will impact, like tell their story, prove it.
Right.
Let me get involved. Let me cry, Jonathan. I want to cry with you. Like break me down, dude. Like I want to see who your business is impacting. That's what I want to see.
Yeah.
And then it's going to be a no-brainer to have you come over and list my house.
Right.
It's not about you. It's about what good you're doing.
Yeah. Well, people, when they see that you're passionate about something,
yeah.
They want to follow that passion. They want to be a part of that.
Yeah.
And so if you're listening and you're a broker and you have no passion, people can tell.
Yeah.
If you don't love what you're doing, it's very obvious.
Yeah.
And so just make sure that this is what you want to do and stick it out. Don't give up after the first year. I'm sure there's many people who broke through ceilings after their first 2, 3, 4 years of failure.
Yeah.
Who then glad they stuck it out. But it's all about attitude too, right?
Yeah.
Attitude is like a flat tire. If you don't fix it, you're not going to get anywhere.
Yeah.
So
that's a good point.
Mm-hmm.
So if you look at the attitude spectrum,
mm-hmm.
what do you think someone with a strong attitude to survive in this, what do you think they need?
They just be really resilient. You have to be undoubtedly resilient. Take the good with the bad. It's almost like you're wearing a bulletproof vest every day because this business, it's a dog eat dog world out there, right?
Yeah.
But there's so many highs that are followed by a lot of lows, and so you have to be balanced, not get too excited. But when you're highest of the highs, you celebrate one day, but the next day it's as if it didn't happen, right? You can't get super excited about one property going under contract that might be 300,000, 400,000, 500,000 because you've put all you're excited about it, maybe $1 million, right? Just depending on how broad your spectrum is. But then when that falls through, what's your next step, right? Are you going to sit there and sulk? Or are you already 4 or 5 more under contract because that next day you were still going after the phone, you were still hitting the pavement the same way you did? Are you still making those, reaching out to those people who are, called you last week to see a house? So it's never being too satisfied.
Yeah. Right.
It's not being comfortable.
Yeah.
Like we talked about in the beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's a big thing. But it's a grind, man. And you have to be willing to answer the phone all the time. I think that's the biggest thing is,
except for right now on the podcast.
Except for right now. Yeah, I'm not going to say because it's my
as
wife.
his phone
She's
rings
45 times. I love you. Yeah. No, but it's it's being available.
Yeah.
Right? Because they're going to call. If you don't answer the phone, they're going to call the next broker.
Yeah.
So I know we come into we got to time block that opportunity, but if you're a first, second, third year agent, answer, be available. Yeah. So it's not for everyone. Yeah. Depending on where you're at in your life.
Yeah. So what do you tell that person that is addicted to the grind? Yeah. Yeah. What do you tell that person?
Well, I'll be honest, I'm
right.
I don't know if I'm the person to ask.
Yeah.
Right? Because I'm balancing that right now. Yeah. I just got married in May.
Congrats.
And thank you. And my life has changed significantly in a lot of ways. I didn't have a what time I needed to be done from the office. Right. It was always drink, work, sleep, real estate. Yeah. And so I think one thing that I've taken away from some other brokers who do it is definitely time block. Prepare, have that time for your family and loved ones, which sounds crazy, but it definitely works. It's setting up your own business hours. You are like an office. Yeah. So if your office closes at 8, then that phone goes off and you spend your time with your loved ones after 8. That's been a huge struggle for me. Yeah. Huge, because I'm very competitive. And I want to take every call. I want to help every person. Yeah. And I feel like if I drop one, it's like, day's over. Yeah. But,
what am I going to do to pick myself up now?
Yeah. You got to call 5 more. Yeah. So it's, I don't know. But keep shooting them at me.
Yeah. No. No, I mean, I get it. I mean, I remember there was a conversation with a super successful guy. The guy actually owns his own coaching program now, owns an island.
Okay.
Yep. Actually, I think he's selling it.
Is this guy in Australia?
No.
Different guy. Okay.
Yeah, he owns all of Australia. That is his island.
Yeah.
No, but yeah. So I after class, I went up to him and I asked him. I was like, because we were all about time blocking. The one thing is what the class was called. Okay. The one thing. Mm-hmm. And I was like, dude, I think there's something wrong with me, man. Like everyone's like, you know, this real estate thing is interrupting my life, and dang it. And I was like, I think I'm opposite. I was like, dude, I'm like addicted to this thing. Yeah. Like, wean me down. How do I do this? He was like, yeah, this is gonna live with you forever. But anyways,
I'm all ears because I'm over here taking notes.
Yeah. Well, and I think there's a lot of truth to what you said. If you're a first agent, grind time, baby. Like tons and tons and tons and tons and tons and tons of work, and then load more work on that. Right. Because hard work beats skill every time, right? And you can whoever's skillful next to you, you can crush them through hard work.
Yes. Always. So I was that person, and I had an expectation conversation with the family too. You know, I said, give me 2 years of just die work. Like, I mean, if you look at that. So I stay with a job for 30 years. I'm unhappy. I come home unhappy. I complain every night, and my end goal is to get a pension from the same company that I hate. That's probably going to sell my pension in the long run. So I can do that for 30 years. Yeah,
be miserable, or I can go sleepless for 2.
Right. And
build a life by design.
Yes, sir.
Which one sounds best for you? Right? Yeah. And so it's like, I just kind of had that expectation conversation, and it was die for 2 years.
Yeah. And you got to convince their loved ones about that too. Yeah. I think that's the hard part.
Yeah. Well, why is it important to them, right? Like, X amount of money could be made.
Right.
Remember, it's not about the money, it's what good the money can do. So what could this money be used for, babe?
Sure. Right.
Like,
I have more time with you.
Yep. More time. It sure as heck could. Could it buy more time back? Yep. Through leverage. Sir. Like, it could also, like, go back home, see the family for weeks.
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot of good that it can do as well.
A ton. And it frees you up. You know, it's like you said, those first few years are grind. Yeah. And then you kind of learn how to filter. Yeah. You're learning, you know, maybe if I say, then I really know if they're really motivated, or, you know, just depending on what their situation. You know how to have the right conversations. Yeah. And your business becomes more efficient. Yeah. And more effective for sure. Yeah.
So you, what do you got going on next? Like, what are you looking forward to? What's coming up?
Next, I want to get my GC license. That's next.
Is it?
Yeah, that's next. That's the plan for 2019.
Why?
Because, Ruben, I love residential. I love, you know, being a real estate broker, but I want to also dabble into development. And I think that our market has a huge opportunity for houses in that 150, 160 price range that are affordable, that look nice. You know, it's helping out, you know, middle class. You know, it's not that high, beautiful, fancy house. Right. And it's not, you know, it's right there in the middle where I think a lot of people can benefit. The market that I live in, we're overflowed with dated houses. You know, Fayetteville's a little bit different market. Right. Robeson County, you have houses from the 60s and 70s that haven't been touched since. And if you can give them a new product with the upgrades that they want, you know, at a price point that they can afford, there's an incredible opportunity there. And I also want to help people. There's opportunity that people that are skilled in this job that haven't met the right person. You know, you got subcontractors that don't have their license, that they're limited. So I want to be able to provide opportunities for other people to help, you know, and help, you know, give them jobs, provide opportunities for them. Right. Which is, you know, goes along the same lines as that little company I was telling you that we opened, which is the transportation business. I know it's a totally different.
No, go for it.
Different avenue. But we bought a 45 passenger bus. So in Robeson County, our intention is to help people get to work. Smithfield, Sanderson Farms, Mount Air, who either don't have a car, have lost their license, or family that only has one vehicle. Right. When that vehicle's gone, wife needs it, whatever the case may be, that we're providing them the opportunity to get to work safely, on time, so that they're not risking their jobs. A lot of these income families are one income. Right. You're not there, show up for one day of work, you're fired. Yeah. You know, and so we really want to be able to help them, knowing that they're going to get to work, because there's no public transportation.
Yeah. So have you?
There's no Uber. There's no taxi cabs.
Right.
You know, so
no, that's awesome. So have you heard any of their stories? Some of the people who have.
Yeah, I know people who wait at the bus stop, you know, depending on the time of year, for an hour and a half, 2 hours, you know, for a ride. Some people who have paid a week in advance, 2 weeks in advance, and the ride doesn't show up. You know, people who, like I said before, have one single family car.
Yeah.
But what do you do now? The wife takes them to work, and then just go back and pick them up, and there might be other obligations. And so, you know, or that guy who, you know, made some bad decisions and, you know, lost his license, and now he's struggling to find a job because he can't get to work.
Yeah.
Well, if he had that transportation system, that wouldn't be a reason. It wouldn't be an
So
excuse.
is the bus up and running now?
It'll Monday.
Oh, gotcha.
Monday is the first day. So we've got all of our documentation. We've licensed it. I'm sorry, not licensed it. But we've got
hit Monday.
CDL.
Nice.
Hit Monday. Yep. The insurance was the tricky part.
I bet.
Insurance was the tricky part, but it's a cool opportunity. So we're trying to do other things. What's really cool, how it helps the real estate business, is I've got a TV on there with all my all my
course
listing.
you do.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
and what better? So
It's worth. I mean, what better than seeing me every day when they get on the bus?
and what you're looking at, getting your GC license and getting that affordable 120, 130, 140, 150
Yeah.
range, like I'm sure, and you correct me if I'm wrong, that's going to be like 80% of the listings that are going to show on that TV because of your market.
Absolutely. And if they don't know if that's not them, if it's not for them, they'll know someone.
Who do you know? That's the best.
It's always right. Of course, we'll be putting other companies on that TV that'll constantly be marketing those businesses that are supportive of that business.
Yeah.
So doctors, attorneys, lawyers. I said that already. But it's marketing.
Yeah.
You know, it's underserved demographic.
Sure.
So that's one little cool thing that we're working on.
It'd be interesting. Do you have a YouTube channel?
I don't. I need one. I know.
So when you hire that marketing person, have them do that, because how cool would it be that one of the playlists is that bus, and in that playlist is some of the stories of those people that you've helped. Yeah. You know, they were struggling, or whatever that looks like, and here you come with that bus, and they're like, first, you know, I didn't even believe it. Like, this guy, whatever, right. He's charging $400 a head, you know, like, but and it ended up being a real thing, and now I can go to, but I want that buy-in. Like, I want to cry with you, Jonathan.
Yes, no, I know.
You know, and I want to see who you're really affecting. It'd be cool if you had a playlist like that.
I think that's a great point. I think that's an awesome idea. I think, you know, from the get-go, we're definitely helping a lot of people. Some of them are paying $80 to $100 a week, right? We're charging them $5. Ride for $5. So there and back might be 10, but you know, it's half of what they're paying now.
Yeah.
And when you're already making a limited salary, and a quarter of your profit goes towards paying your transportation, I mean, you know, it's tough. So hopefully this will be a good resource for them and something that can help save them some money down the road.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it'd be cool.
So when you said the GC thing and development,
back to that.
I love that, and I'm excited to see that thing explode and see where it goes. I'm sure you'll have more than one bus, you know, eventually. Yeah. It's gonna be cool that we heard it here first.
Yes,
you know?
you have heard it here first. This is the truth.
Yeah.
So
and then to watch it grow, it's gonna be so cool.
Yeah. I'm definitely excited about the GC license. Being able to put my creative touch on some of the development is something I've always wanted to do.
Yeah, of course.
So that'll be really neat, and I'm fortunate enough to have people that trust me to do that.
Yeah.
So
to bring for me and to bring clear, because I don't know much about the GC side. So are you looking to get buying land and then actually put new construction homes?
Well,
the flip side.
That's one of the ideas, right?
Gotcha.
So what we want to do is, you know, obviously through experience and, you know, building a reputation of well-built homes, we want to be able to put on bids not only on residential but commercial as well.
Right.
You know, bids on, you know, large developments.
Right. Oh, gotcha.
Obviously, that's like, you know, you gotta have the vision, right, to start.
Scale up.
So the vision I see is, you know, building, you know, doing some things, maybe if it's in, you know, different parts of the county or different states, you know, that crosses borders. You know, we don't have to be limited to North Carolina.
Yeah.
I've got family in Florida that, that do high-end development there. My uncle owns a real estate company in Florida, and, roofing bids for, let's say, Publix or whatever it is, so
gotcha.
Getting into all broad range of construction. But obviously the short-term goal is to start by doing little neighborhoods, maybe start with one.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
Buy 5 acres and then put one property on it.
It'd be interesting. What do you? All right.
Go ahead.
What do you call that neighborhood? What's the name of the neighborhood?
Ooh, God, that's a great question. Riviera something.
Riviera Retreat.
Riviera Retreat. No, I don't know. That's a great. I'm gonna think about that one and I'll get back with you. But
yeah.
No, that'd be really neat. I wonder how a lot of these people come up with them. Sandstone and
there's probably marketing research,
yeah.
But I say, the name doesn't make you. You make the name. So it'd be interesting to see what that. Maybe one
cool.
street's called like Proven by Ruben.
Proven, yeah.
By Ruben.
The other street
it can't be a
Ruben.
cul-de-sac. Like I don't want no cul-de-sac.
No dead ends.
It's gotta be the best, strongest road in there.
Yes, that'd be really cool.
Yeah. All right. So I have a few questions.
But yeah, what you got?
All right. So, do you have a favorite failure that you believe has set you up for success?
A favorite failure? I failed a lot, man.
The one that sticks out. Yeah.
The one that sticks out. Is this my real estate career or is this just in life?
Both. And if it ties into both, then great. I don't want you to limit yourself on one of those.
No,
right?
I know. I think what really just launched me to just change my mindset completely. I got in some trouble when I was growing up. I was not always. I didn't make the best decisions, and it took me a while to realize that, unfortunately. But I think what really hit home, and I might get personal here, is I had a stepfather who didn't support any of my aspirations. I first wasn't great in school, but I knew I wanted to be something. I was an athlete at the time. I just wanted to play sports. And I know I'm kind of going all over the map here, but I think what I'm getting back to is I, for the first time, had applied for this company called Northwestern Mutual. I was going to sell life insurance. And he crushed that opportunity. Just like crushed it. I was wearing his suits. I got the job. And I didn't have any suits at the time, so I was wearing his suit. And him and my mom were going through a nasty divorce. I know I'm getting
all good. Dude.
Yeah, but when he asked me to, speak on his behalf as to why my mother wasn't a good mother, and I denied that, he said he took away my suits, my opportunity to work for this company. Called the guy who hired me.
Whoa.
And told me not to hire me.
Dang.
Himself. And from there he told me, he said, "You'll never be as successful as I am." And I know that's crazy, and I know that you weren't expecting that answer, but since that day I was 24. I was like not that young.
Right.
The next year I moved back to North Carolina, finished school, and I started this obesity prevention program. And that was like, now I'm honed in. Now I know what I want to do. So it was being told that you'll never do something that lit the fire underneath me. So that failure of never being successful was my biggest fear. And then it launched me into an opportunity where I said, I am never not going to be successful. But I think failure is very important. It is the most important, because it's where all your lessons are learned. And so I failed time over time, in a lot of ways, not just in my personal life. I failed in relationships. I failed in friendships. I failed in business. But for specifically, that one always sticks out. It's nothing I did wrong. It was more of like I realized how people can be, and I didn't want to be in that. I wanted to have a better opportunity, better life for myself. Yeah, and really sit down and just focus on that. But failure in real estate, I realized one thing was you never know the expectation for example, for a seller and how often they want to communicate.
Yeah.
Unless you set that up front.
Right.
Well, as an early real estate broker, I didn't know how to set that expectation. I didn't know what that looked like. I didn't have people in my real estate corner that taught me well.
Right.
And I think the biggest thing was, if your listing is not getting shown, you still have to communicate. You still have to. They still have to know that you're doing something. Yeah. Whether it's like, hey, we didn't get any showings today. Yeah. Just calling them and reminding them of that. I think that constant communication is where a lot of us fail. Right. Because they're going to go to the next agent who calls them every day. But you have to be able to adapt. And in this business, you have to figure out what your weaknesses are. And it's okay that you fall on your face, but then to be willing to adapt and make those changes in order to continue to grow your business. I think that's where, every failure is an opportunity to learn something new. And it's what you do, obviously, with that failure that helps you get to the next level. So specifically, I mean, I look at a lot of things as failures. If I didn't get a listing or if I didn't, price it the right, it's every day is a game with myself. Yeah. So I'm competing against myself every single day. Yeah. No, that's a big, honestly, a big flame that got lit, because all that, like the real estate stuff, the failures came from a byproduct of that one time you were told you'll never succeed. Mm-hmm. Exactly. And let me know, because you get dressed up in some pretty fly clothes. Thank you. Yeah, like suits, except for that one suit on your Instagram story that was how much? That jacket? $6,900. $6,900. Almost $7,000 for a coat. Yeah. But do you think that ties into that, where like all his suits or whatever that were taken away, and now you're like, I'm going to look fly in my own suits that I buy. Yeah. Yeah. I think it hurt because it was like, now what? It's like, and it took away everything that I had to do the job. Because you got to look good to perform good, right? You feel good. You feel good, you do well. Yeah. That's in everything. Yeah. And, when that was taken away from me because I didn't have any money to buy several $100 suits. Yeah. And so I think that when I turned the corner is when I said, you know what, that was a huge lesson in many ways. And I think subliminally or subconsciously, I now, will never let that keep me from getting to the next level. So yeah, I like to dress well. Obviously today I'm in a t-shirt, but most days people are trusting you with hundreds of thousands of dollars. And if you're not dressed the part, if you don't act the part, if you don't look the part, it makes a big difference. Yeah. So, and you have to be comfortable with yourself. If you're not comfortable in a suit, don't, by all means, don't. Something's not working. Yeah, something's not working. You're looking like something's off. Yeah. And you can tell. Yeah, exactly. You can see it. Yeah. The guy's got the big collar and the boat, doesn't quite fit. Yeah. But, I think, I think that's safe to say, and that will never be anything that's going to hold me back in the future. Well, good. Don't let it. No, you're looking fly, my man. Thank you. Keep doing that. Try to. What profession other than your own would be fun to attempt? Another profession other than my own. I love real estate. I wanted to be an Air Force pilot. Really? Why? That would be really cool. Flying jets. Yeah. I mean, I don't know if I have to explain that any further. Yeah. I'm an adrenaline. Mic drop. Yeah. I'm an adrenaline junkie. I wouldn't say junkie because I don't do all the things. Yeah. I would love to jump out of a plane, but I think I saw a picture of a Air Force fighter pilot, the other day, and they are just bad dudes. They're just very intelligent, very smart. They're that's really cool. I think that's like the kid's dream, right? I think another profession would be a stockbroker in New York. Why? Oh man, that's just, talk about hustle and grind. Yeah. And being able to, you're in New York City and these high-rise luxury apartments, and those guys grind, man. You talk about in the heat. Yeah. that's a dog eat dog right there. And so I think my competitive nature would be something that I think that would help if I ever got into something like that.
I think they got a lot of high frequency trading going on now. I mean, it's a lot of computers.
Yeah, well, that's true.
But I love the old school. Like, I know
it's
exactly.
not so much like the bullpen. The pit. Right?
Yeah, those buy and sells. Like,
Yeah.
No, I get it.
Let's see.
No, that's
Yeah. Okay.
Dude, if you want to.
Yeah, that's it.
Dude,
That's
fly in on your jet, park on Wall Street,
Yes.
jump in, sell some stock, and fly away.
Yep.
You know, it'd be interesting. Do you think that you'll ever? You think you'll get to the point to where you'll have a jet?
Probably.
So, dude, sit next to that pilot.
Yeah.
Kind of when he puts that thing on auto or whatever, push that mug over and just kind of like.
I mean, if you don't dream it, it'll never happen.
Right.
You know, so I'm all a believer in that for sure. The sky's the limit in real estate.
100%. There's nothing to say that can't happen.
Nothing capping me.
Nope.
Nothing. Nothing.
I can see it now, dude. I'm looking at the seats, and it's got that logo like in the headrest.
In the headrest. Yep.
And there's one that says founder, and that's where you sit.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Purchases of less than $100 that have most improved your life.
Purchases less than $100. That's a great question, Ruben. There's often books that I get dabble in. I have trouble finishing. I always start, but I need to finish. I think there's some great books out there. 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. Everyone knows Rich Dad Poor Dad.
Yeah.
There's some new one. One thing I've got that I just started reading on my way to Houston last week, which is a good one. Some other important things that help my life: buying flowers for my wife for $100, right?
That's a good answer, dude.
Those will change your life forever. A lot of things don't have to cost money at all. It's writing a card to a client. Mm-hmm. That you knew that they needed some support, and you were there for them. You cared. You asked questions. That's free.
Yeah.
Those are things that I try to do. Facebook ads. My business.
Right.
No, I mean, there could be a lot of things. I guess what's another one you got?
Yeah. Well, I think I think you did one of the best, buying flowers for the wife. Like, that's a great answer.
Yeah.
All right. So 2 more questions.
Yes.
Since I peppered you with questions, what question do you have for me?
Okay. How is this experience podcast? How's it going for you? And what's the biggest takeaway? And what are some things you can do to improve?
All right. So
that was a layered question.
Yeah, the experience of it, amazing. Love it. It was very uncomfortable. So I love. You start to get attracted to being uncomfortable, right? Like, so that's been a lot of fun. The biggest takeaway is the opportunity that is open. It's opened up a ton of opportunity. Yeah, because all I'm doing is talking to business owners.
Yeah.
So what do you think the conversation is after and before the podcast? That's a lot of opportunity. If you're ready for the opportunity. Like, if you go in that conversation knowing there's opportunity, your mind will be alerted to the opportunity as soon as you hear it.
Sure.
So you'll know. And you're like,
beep, beep.
Interject.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
And you jump right in. So that's been a big aha from this whole thing.
Okay.
What can improve it is hiring someone to chop all this up. Chop it up and make it bite-sized pieces to be the gateway drug, if I could use a better word, but gateway drug to more of my content. Okay. I think someone can chop this up. I think when you said the bus idea, like chopping that up and put it on YouTube and be like, Rivera buses, what does it mean?
Ride Safe LLC.
Ride Safe LLC. Yeah, and either way, it's a small chunk of what they could get when they listen to the whole thing. And then maybe also chopping it up where there's a picture of you and I, like,
yeah.
So if you're watching the video, I'm like in a weird pose, but it's like you just said something crazy, like just it was an excellent saying or a phrase, and then adding that to the picture and uploading it into LinkedIn, Instagram, and like just more and more content from this one platform.
Yeah.
And I need to hire someone to do that.
Yeah.
There's the opportunity. Leverage it off.
Yeah.
To chunk
because you just don't have time.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it. So in the last question, what question do you have for everyone listening? And then we'll close it up.
You immediately went. There was a couple quick questions that I struggled with in the beginning. It's like, what were your failures? I have such a selective memory that I try to, forget about them. Because I can't really pinpoint them because I try to focus so much on, getting to the ultimate goal. But my question is, what do you do with those failures, and how do you make them a part of your daily life? Right? Make them a part of your daily life so that they continue to push you in a forward scaling high trajectory. I don't know if that's a question. I guess it's
I think it's a great question because a lot of people have failures.
Mm-hmm.
But I think the way that you broke it down was like, what do you do with those failures every day?
Mm-hmm.
Like, how are you improving yourself every day from the failures?
Right. Yeah, I mean, because you could learn from something every single day.
Yeah,
and it's how do you apply those things, and not say that you're going to apply those things, but how you actually do it.
Right.
So, that's something that I struggle with all the time.
So where can they find you to let you know the answer to that?
Yeah, so you can find me. You can email me at yourlumbertonrealtor@gmail.com or jdr.realtor@gmail.com. You can text me.
Can they follow you on social media?
Yes, you can follow me on social media. My Facebook page is Jonathan Rivera. My Instagram is your realtor, or Jonathan your realtor. Sorry, let me start that over. Jonathan.
Don't look at your phone.
Jonathan _ your realtor. Sorry
Got
about
it.
that.
You're good, man. You're good.
Jonathan _ your realtor. It's been great, Ruben. I appreciate the opportunity.
Of course.
I had a lot of fun.
Awesome. And for everyone listening, make sure that you subscribe to the Proven by Ruben podcast on audio and video because we're on YouTube. And then make sure that you guys don't miss any of this good stuff.
Yeah.
Thanks again, Jonathan. I appreciate it, man.
Thank you, buddy. I appreciate it.
You the man.
Awesome, man.